Yo squad, it's Benny with the fresh and juicy. Major moves across the pond today. The UK Parliament just gave Prince Harry and Meghan Markle a vote of no confidence, stripping them of their Duke and Duchess titles. The royal couple got major heat and headlines when they walked away from their duties, but men, this was a bold move. No more masked riding of those royal coattails. Yeah, I see you, Parliament. Alright, before you go all troll on me, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and bell. All of your support goes a long way. Alright, let's break it down, 'cause let's be real, the press and the royal family both assume Harry and Meg would be in the States by now, but instead they were playing both sides. The two were burned pretty bad with their first Sussex royal brand, Granny put the kibosh on it, and now again with their new Sussex site. They used the royal titles and insignias to score their deals in entertainment and activism even after they agreed not to. Straight defiance. This is the unmistakable shadow of a quest for fame and fortune without the commensurate effort, capitalizing on a status and name which, in Meghan's case, was acquired by marriage, not birth. Harry was the one born into royalty, yes, but Meghan's entry was by marriage, and their collective exit as the going got tough is the clue. Their continuing access to royal largesse while having departed rubbed much of the public the wrong way and, mercifully, the UK Parliament has come to the rescue. Enough is enough. The legislative intervention confirms that these two have veered so far from the core expectations of their royal roles that, with 312 members of Parliament asking the Queen to take their titles away, based on a 1918 law, to 212 opposed, the evidence is unimpeachable. From the public criticisms of the royal family, to their media use to air private grievances, to their vacillations on bringing matters to resolution, as with the peculiar brand royal on their brand when they had lost a battle on that point before and were scarcely in a position to defend, have all caught up with them. For Meghan, reveling in her Duchess status, her illusions of being Royal Highness, with the concomitant princess image which she so blatantly sought in the reflection of Diana and, more recently, starring in a remodeled Lady Di film, is over, the end of her tale. She is no more a princess, no more a Royal Highness, or Her Royal Highness, to be exact, she once again simply Mrs. Markle, and perhaps thwarted once again in her ambitions. For Harry, whose identity screamed royal, what was perhaps a matter of existential crisis, or at least a reckoning, the royal prefix that was his caress or his curse, is gone. And so perhaps the most telling fable of this unfolding tale, of the consequences of self, when familial and institutional calls rung near silent, is that my sympathy is reserved, for Harry and Meghan's present straits appear so much the fruit of their actions and choices. If the Sussexes were aiming for a way to maintain their royal status, they should not have stepped out on the Queen, or their obligations. You can't have your royal cake and eat it too, as the old adage goes. Their PR team had to frame this as an attack, of course. According to the ever-active media arm, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will be the subject of a fly-on-the-wall reality TV series as part of their Netflix deal, a source sneered. They may have had all these lofty ideas about producing epics highlighting environmental causes and the poverty gap, but Netflix obviously wants their pound of flesh. But it's difficult to whine too much about poking when you're the ones wielding the stick. Is good sweet without goodness ever enough? It's about time the Harkles realize they've maneuvered themselves into a fix entirely of their own creation. The stark choice between enriching themselves and performing their duties as members of the royal family, as well as son and daughter-in-law to the Prince of Wales, daughter-in-law to the Prince of Wales' late adoring mother and granny to the nation, could no longer be dodged. This was a decision that had to be settled, head versus heart, and ultimately they spoke for themselves. Their statement expressed abject horror at this ghastly and unanticipated intrusion into their lives. Did they expect to merrily skip off to lives as tech moguls, celebrity humanitarians or Netflix packagers with entitlements still at their disposal? The onus now lies with Charles to expediently implement the expressed will of Parliament, citing any other conduct which scours the reputation of monarchy by revoking their titles and financial support. The matter at last staggers inexorably to an end after affronts and betrayals against duty and loyalty, the severance of traditional connections to pursue independent business interests, the get down on your knees and apologize slap he who must be heard gets from Harry, a general election, convincingly commanding that the skulking couple cease camping out to bedevil the nation and vacate England's playing fields. The fiasco all amounts to integrity in choice, where Meghan and Harry took the avenue of avarice in preference to honor and duty. Nobody made them sign on, just to see what Ted Sarandos is up to, and they now must endure the consequences for their choice, a rude lesson in integrity. That would be all of it for the renegades from Frogmore Cottage. Meghan and Harry effectively have been cancelled in the royal sense.